Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the Sean and Sax show. You guys can't see behind us. Babe, we need curtains. We need to get this taken care of. Gunner, come here. Sit down, buddy. Once again, we have our trusted dog right who peed on the carpet yesterday. Gunner?
Yeah.
The first episode, he was really cool, and he just sat and he laid down and did nothing, and now he's just an absolute freaking terror. Here. No, he'll eat that, love. Babe, don't give him that.
I won't give him this.
He's not going to go play. He's going to go shit someplace. Those of you this is one of the benefits of watching the show is you get to see the shenanigans happening, like our dog shitting on the floor. Hey, trying to eat the plants. Babe. Guys, welcome. So we wanted to talk about something today. Obviously, it's 11/11. Screenshot it. I got it. That's the best thing. Gunner, come here.
Are you going to screenshot it for real?
No. Okay. Saxony always screenshots like 11/11, 111, 222, 333, 444, 555.
So does Brinny.
For the numbers. So we get a lot of messages about things to talk about. And one of the messages that's been coming up a lot lately that people have been asking about is like, how do you keep the fire alive? Like, how do you keep things going? How do you keep things happening? Yeah. How do you keep the spice and the sizzle and the sex and the whole thing going? I think it's a very valid question, right? I was married for 10 years. I know that was a reality. We've only been married for about 3 minutes. There's the leash, by the way. Did you just bring it in?
I did.
Oh. We've been married for 3 minutes. But we've both been in, longer term relationships. We understand the game, and I wanted us to talk about this today because we do some really fun things. I feel like
we're really attentive, and we have that. To me, it's just like that nourishes the relationship, and that's what I think a lot of people have noticed about us as they watch these little things, especially if you watch our Instagram stories. A lot of these little things come up, and we wanted to share that with you guys.
Yeah, like waking up in the morning. I need to start posting my songs.
You guys, Sean writes me the most ridiculously amazing songs.
I freestyle.
You do?
I don't write anything. I freestyle, and I am really good at it.
You're so good.
I wake up in the morning.
The topics usually don't change.
What do you mean?
The subject of the song rarely changes. What's normally
the subject?
It's usually about my butt or your dick or one of our mouths.
Sex. I wake up every morning.
They're very cheerful, lovely songs.
Yeah, I just freestyle songs about her sexy ass and sex and inappropriate things. And it's just funny because it always makes you laugh. And I'm like, it's not something that I intentionally wake up and go, okay, freestyle a weird song about bending you over the couch and weird, funny, obscure shit.
You should freestyle right now,
No, I can't. We have things to talk about. But like, it's funny because this is kind of what we're talking about today. Yeah. Like the little things. Like we wanted to kind of title this one "The Little Things" because what we have found,
all the
small things, little Blink song. We could throw a Blink song in here. But we have found, and I have found personally that over the years, as I focused on the big things, I get a far smaller return because they are investments.
Yep.
I get a far smaller return, if you will, in the grand scheme of things than really focusing on the little things.
Yeah.
And it's something that I feel like I lost sight of in my marriage are the little things. It was like, oh, I bought you a car, I got you an Escalade, or we got a boat, or we did this, or we did that. We took this huge vacation, and it's almost like that's supposed to go the long game. And something you mentioned yesterday we were talking about is like compounding interest.
Yep.
If you're familiar with investing and you understand what compounding interest is, you could take a huge chunk of money and put it into the marketplace, and you can start scaling that and growing that. But we've all seen the graphs, and you've seen the pie charts and the whole thing. If you invest like $5 a day, a little teeny investment, people go, oh, dude, Bitcoin or this or that or the other, or any sort of shit. Like if you take $5 a day and put it into an investment account that yields a very small nominal interest rate over 20 years, it's worth millions of dollars.
And it's that being consistent with it.
Right. And
just
basis. Putting a little teeny, so breaking it down to the simplest equation, like the really, really, really big returns happen by small investments. Not only in your money, putting a little bit away, invest a little, invest a little, compound that over time, you've got a huge fucking bank account. It's the same thing in the relationship. You put little teeny investments into the bank account, into the relationship
Yeah.
every single day. Over time, I feel like that pays the biggest dividend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, Dr. John Gottman, I'm sure many of you, if you're into relationships, you've heard of the Gottman Institute. They have studied for, I think, 40 years relationships. They have a love lab, and they bring in people, and they boil
what?
it. It's called the Love Lab.
Love lab? We have a love lab.
We
have a
do.
great
It's a
love
little
lab.
bit different, I think, than the Gottmans, but they have. They did a lot of research on this, and it's called the emotional bank account, and it's a shared bank account between the partners, and it's like making those small deposits and keeping your balance, your bank balance in the green instead of the red, and being aware of that. And what's really interesting too, this might be jumping ahead, but just popped in my head, is they say for every negative thing, it takes 5 positives. So that, to me, it's like having that awareness of knowing there's a bank account, knowing that you're making deposits and withdrawals and whatnot, and having the awareness of knowing that positivity breeds positivity. It's like walking through life and being like, what can I do right now? Just having your partner in mind, like, what can I do right now to just make them happy?
Mm-hmm.
Or not make them happy, but bring happiness to their life. Bring a little bit of joy, maybe a giggle. And that's like, if you think of them as deposits, it's really easy for people to understand because most of us have bank accounts.
Now, I want to talk about that for a second because you said make them happy. I don't believe that I can make you happy.
No.
I know the things that make you happy. I know the things that make you smile. I know the things that make you laugh, like these funny
Like
songs
naughty
that
jokes.
I write. Like, I know these things. And this is something that I truly lost track of in my relationship, in my marriage, is the game, right? The keeping score. Like, I knew the things that would make my ex-wife happy. I knew the things that, I'm like watching him because he's going to go poop somewhere. I know the things that would do that. And when I find myself in a dark spot, when I find myself pissed off, when I find myself sad, when I find myself hurt, I don't do those things. Here's what's interesting. I have found for me in our relationship that me doing little things obviously makes you smile, obviously makes you laugh, but more than that, it brings me fuller. It makes me fill my own tanks. And it's weird to think about it this way, but it's a very, very selfish reality. And I want people to understand, like, there's nothing wrong with that word.
No.
Like, there is nothing wrong with selfish. I want to feel good. Would you admit that when I feel good, I'm a better partner?
Yes,
I'm a better
sir.
lover. I'm a better
Yes,
dad.
sir.
I'm a better everything. So I want to do the things that make me feel good.
Right.
The benefit of these little things is that it also adds to the bank account. It adds to where we stand. It adds to our strength, our dynamic. But truth be told, like, if I'm in a dark place, if I'm in a really pissed off spot, if I'm sad, if I'm upset, whatever, I want to do the things that bring me out of that. And you always hear about, service and doing things for other people. But I have found that the things that challenge me the most are the things that I need to do. The things that I need to do. And sometimes when you and I there's some friction, like, one of the last things that I want to do is, like, make these emotional investments. But I have literally, like, the game of life, the game of my own mind. I have found that when I'm frustrated, when I'm triggered, when I'm pissed off, when I make an investment into that bank account, into our relationship, I feel better. And then the relationship strengthens.
Absolutely.
Hear that again, friends. Like, when you're in a dark place, when you're in a frustrated spot, when you're mad at her, when you're mad at him, the last thing you want to do is invest. The last thing you want to do is send a freaking picture or write a note or say, or words of appreciation, right? But 100 times out of 100, when you do that without the attachment to you, I feel better. And so this game that we've been talking about, that I've been sharing over the last few years, is like, I want to continue to feel better. The better I feel, the more money I make. The better I feel, the better shape I'm in. The better I feel, the better dad and the more connected I am to my kids and to you. And so understanding that these small things we're going to talk about, we have a list of things we want to talk about. These small investments, without question, are investments into the relationship. They are thoughts that I have around you. They are words that I want to say, actions that I want to take. But almost every single time I invest in our relationship, I feel better.
Well, it reminds me too of when you hear people say "fake it till you make it," which I don't love that.
No.
But in this context, that popped in my mind of, fake, not fake, but like, you get it. Like, I'm not in a place where I want to do this, so I'm gonna fake it. And what that does is like that brings you out of it. Like you're saying, it's just like just do it anyways.
Yeah.
And who cares if it's selfish? Like in the end all goal, if you're depositing in that your couple's emotional bank, who cares? Who cares like what your intention is behind it, honestly. Like I can guarantee
Well, the goal is to feel better.
Right.
You want to feel better. And it's not faking. I don't think you fake it. Like I truly, here's what's interesting about that, right?
Yeah.
I love you. Okay?
Thank you.
There's times that I don't feel that.
Uh-huh.
There's times that I don't acknowledge that. There's times that I'm pissed. But at the end of the day, if I strip away all that bullshit, I do love you. So I'm not faking anything. To me, there's a level of bullshit in front of me right now. Like just literally think about it that way. Like this is a hurdle. I love you. I care about you. I want the best for you. But right now, my ego, my pride is saying, fuck this, da-da-da-da. That, to me, it's not faking the love. It's doing the shit that I know, number one, works, but number two, makes me feel better. Like, we talked about this the other day. This became a reality for me after my divorce. I mean, I had serious animosity, anger, frustration, bitterness towards my ex-wife. Bad. Like she and I, we picked up and dropped off the kids.
That comes with divorce, it seems.
We were so fucking dark and so angry that we were picking up and dropping off our kids at a police station. Yeah. I was angry. I was pissed off, right? And I'll never forget as long as I live, when I hired my first coach, the very first thing that he had me do was write my ex-wife, the woman that I literally wanted to get run over by a bus. I wanted her to choke on her fucking food, right? God bless you, Summer. I love you to death.
We love you.
But listen, like this is real. I want to be real with this shit. So guys understand this because guys are prideful fucks. Women are too. And especially if you've been divorced, you're carrying anger. There's a chip in your shoulder. There's a thing in the back of your mind. It's like, oh, fuck this person. But the very first thing that he challenged me to do that he wouldn't negotiate on was, I want you to write her a letter of appreciation. Now, this is 2.5 years of just fierce fucking drama, fierce anger, fierce ferocity. I'm like, bro, listen, I will drag my ass through glass. Like, you cut my fucking balls off before I tell her that I appreciate her. It was the very last thing that I wanted to do. I'm like, tell me to do anything else. I'll go climb Mount Everest. I'll swim across the fucking ocean. I'm not doing this. That was the reason it was so genius, is because that was the thing that I needed the most. And what's interesting is I've shared this many, many, many times from stage. I would talk about this in my book. Like, me writing her a letter of appreciation wasn't for her. And it sure as shit was not for us. It was for me. It was, will I get over my ego, my bullshit to build me? And this is what so many people need to understand by what we're talking about today is the little investments, the little things, right? Your ego says I'm mad. Your pride says I'm mad. Your entire psyche is fuck this person. I don't like how I feel right now. And you want to be angry at somebody. You want to project that. And what I was spewing into the marketplace and into the world and into my relationships and into my kids was this anger because I was fucking angry. And at the end of the day, if you're listening to this right now and you have anger towards an ex, good fucking luck being a present mom or a present dad. If you have anger, and listen, I don't care about your story.
It's not even going to help your current relationship.
Listen, your story doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter whether they lied to you, cheated on you, wronged you, stole from you, fucking kicked you out on the street. The story is irrelevant. Your story does not matter because we all have them. We all have a story. My ex and I did this, we did this. Listen to what I'm saying. You have to understand that as long as you're carrying around anger, you will not build new shit. If you're carrying around anger, good fucking luck meeting somebody new and building a relationship. If you're carrying around anger, frustration, bitterness, resentment, that shit is what you put into the market. It's what you put into your love. It's what you put into your words. It's what you put into your actions. And if you're carrying that shit around, you will not build anything new. I know this because I did it. I was angry and I was venting and I was drinking and I was chasing shit girls and trying to cover my anger with this momentary pleasure. But the truth is, the work that I had to do was on me. And one of the hardest things that I've ever done was build a relationship of love and appreciation with someone that I despised, someone that I hated, someone that I truly didn't love, that I had so much anger towards. And I'm open to talk about that. I don't have no problem. It's not an issue of pride or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, I had fucking severe anger issues. I was so pissed off, and really I was pissed off at me. And so as I look back on my own personal journey and our journey, realizing that writing a letter of appreciation, saying nice things, sending positive text messages, literally rewrote the entire game for me and understanding that I wasn't doing it for this other person. And so I love leaving you notes, but I'm really leaving notes because it makes me feel better. And the mutual benefit is that you appreciate them. I love singing the songs in the morning.
And you usually get laid because I'm like, oh, this is lovely.
See, fellas, you want to freaking get laid? Write notes, right? But if I'm in a place of anger and you say something, I'm triggered, I'm pissed off, and I ignore you, I push you away, I roll over and sleep on the other side of the bed, I don't kiss you goodnight, I don't do any of these things, we both know, and we all know what the result of that is.
Yeah.
But we also need to understand that I'm not looking for you to save me. I'm not looking for my ex-wife to save me. I'm looking for me to be able to build my own reality, my own peace, my own happiness. And with you and I feel like the reason that we can be at a level that we're at and call that for whatever it is, but like instead of being frustrated, disconnected for days at a time or weeks at a time, it's minutes.
Right.
Because we step back and realize that it's all on me. Like I need to get myself right, get myself to a place of peace, get myself to a place of like love and appreciation. So what do I have to do?
Right.
And these little things are literal, like they're just additional tools in your tool chest. They're more arrows in the quiver.
Well, and back to Gottman's, they're just, I've read many of their books. I follow them very closely. He did a study in the Love Lab, and he realized, or he concluded that most couples fight about nothing. What they're ultimately fighting about, or what they're trying to get out of the fight, this is usually subconscious, they don't know they're doing it, is there is a failure to emotionally connect with their partner. So if you think about that, like why we wanted to talk about this is where the small gestures is like keeping that almost like temperature right there where it's good. It's like you're constantly watering that grass so it stays green. You're making deposits, you're connecting. And so your resistance or your resentments aren't as common because you're constantly putting in this positivity, and it keeps you, like you just said, like it keeps you in a positive mindset when you're doing things, keeps me in a positive mindset when you're doing things, and you have that abundance in your heart, and you're operating out of love because you're literally like, just the act of writing a gratitude note is so powerful. I have my girls a lot in coaching. It's like, especially when they have fights with partners, is like, go and write a gratitude note. Just come up with 5 things that you're grateful for that person. And it's just to change the mindset. So this is like, it's like taking vitamins. I love it. These are small gestures, and they're our jam. Like this is what we do, especially.
So let's keep going.
Numero uno, which
we wanted to talk about. So this is, the little things are important.
Yes.
They're important to you. They're important to me. I have found, and again, as we share on this podcast, it's like this is our own personal discovery. This is our own personal life. This is what we do. And I can tell you that this isn't like some read in a book kind of a deal, but like we literally have
the
like
magic pill.
Our tools. We brought some of our tools today, and we'll share these things with you. But we wanted to give you some practical applications, some practical reality of like what we love to do, like some of the little things that we do in our relationship to connect. So we brought some of our quote unquote tools, and like we wanted to show you some of these things, but like
this is a high tech operation.
The Gunner, come here, Gunner. He's laying down. He just got distracted. But again, our goal is to be able to not only impart like our story and share with you guys where we are, but literal tools that we use. And as we sat down and talked about this, and the small things and the small investments and what we were doing, our number one thing, should we just go like right to the number one?
We should go right to number one because it's our favorite.
One of the things that Saxy and I have been really good at is notes, leaving notes. And I have always appreciated the notes. Like if you're watching this, you'll see like I'm holding up one of the best investments that you can make if you're not watching this.
Seriously.
I'm literally holding right now a dry erase marker. Okay. Now, if you walked into our bathroom at any given time, it's really an interesting thing. It's a canvas, if you will. But
we have a lot of mirrors.
We have a ton of, excuse me, a ton of mirrors. But literally, almost every day, I'm writing something or you're writing something with a dry erase marker all over the bathroom.
Yeah.
Now, what I mean by all over the bathroom is not just on the mirror, but in the sinks, on the glass shower door,
sometimes on the
toilet seat. Like, I want you to think through this for 2 seconds. Like, you're waking up in the morning, you're walking into the bathroom, fellas, because you leave the seat down because you're a gentleman. Like, she flips up the seat and there's a fucking note written on the toilet seat with a dry erase marker. Sounds really cheesy, sounds really funny, but literally like put your sexy ass right here. You know what I'm saying? Like the notes that we leave each other all over the place, you can use these dry erase markers and write on the floor. You can write on the countertops. You can write on glass. You can write on like everything.
Well, and what I love about it is it's like dependent on what's with the day. Like sometimes they're just cute and flirty. Like there's not much to them. But if you have like an event or if you have something big,
or inappropriate.
Right. But I'll try to write something that's like, I'm proud of you, or I'm inspired by you, or something to like give you that like go get 'em.
Right.
Or most of the time, it's flirty and perverted because I like to see you smile because you have my favorites.
Yeah, and I like to draw like really awkward penises in the sink and on the mirror and stuff like that with like hairy balls and stuff because I'm a juvenile.
It was almost as good. They're almost as good as my eggplant and my peach drawing in the sink that day, though.
So literally, I'm not kidding you.
We
Like
get really creative.
This literally, like, these little teeny things, these little teeny notes, an XOXO, just I love your face, blah, 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 blah. Like, you have an instant reaction to these things. And I have found, like, when I walk in and I see something on the mirror, like yesterday, you wrote a longer one. Oh, yeah. And the first thing, like, one of the first things you said was, I love your big ass. And then it then carried on to down below in like another sentence. It had a heart
after ass.
Right.
He just wanted to stop reading it.
But we've literally been laughing about it and joking about my big ass, which I don't have a big ass, for the last 2 days, right? And it's turned into a joke. And here's my point with this. Listen, one note that you just took 30 seconds to write has literally been a point of conversation and laughter and joking for literally the last 2 days.
For sure.
Since you wrote it.
Yeah.
Like when you think about that for a second, like it sounds so simple and we make it so fucking complicated in a relationship, but one 30-second gesture of writing something on the mirror has literally led to like 2 days of conversation, of laughter. In fact, I never even read the whole thing at first. I like woke up, I read it. You were still in bed, I think. And I'm like, oh, my big ass, huh? Anything else you want to say? And you're like, well, no, you got to. And then like I went down and made coffee and we've been joking about it.
Yeah.
But something as simple as fellas just writing something in her sink, of writing like something on the glass mirror or the glass shower door or the mirror or anywhere. You know what I mean? It's so fucking simple and it's so easy. And the thing that I appreciate about it, and I want you to share like what you appreciate is I appreciate that not necessarily what you say, not like the go get 'em, pump up, message, but the fact that you took 30 seconds to write something. And to me, it's like constantly getting those. You're really good at it. You're really good at notes. You're really good at like the writing things out, you know what I mean, that type of connection. And it's rad because it's like, it's not necessarily, oh my God, you wrote this amazing poem. We should put these in a book. But it's like, you just wrote something that made me smile, that made me know, that showed me that you were thinking about me in this moment. And it's not because like I'm in trouble or you're in trouble or we're mad. You just did it because you did it. It's the same thing like with flowers. You go buy flowers and people are like, oh, dude, you must be in trouble. Be like, no, I'm buying my girl flowers because I fucking love her, right? You're writing a note just because you can, because you want to. And it's so fucking connecting. Like the times that I've written funny shit or drawn funny shit, you'll take pictures of it. Like,
I always take pictures.
Like drawing a penis in the sink. Like, you think about that. It's so juvenile. But when you walk over to your sink and you see a penis that's completely distorted or hilarious, or I draw huge balls and draw like the little straight lines that look like hair on the balls, what do you do?
I giggle.
You giggle.
Uh-huh.
You laugh. Fellas, would you like your woman to laugh more? Is your woman more connected to you, more fun, more horny when she's laughing and having a good time and smiling than not?
This is what I love about the notes is in our relationship, and I think this is in most people's, is you have the most fun when you're in your childlike state.
Yeah.
No matter where you are at play or you find these childlike joys, and these notes bring you and I to that childlike state of we're humored by it, right?
Yeah.
And I like...
We're both very immature.
We're both really
extremely
like
immature.
14-year-old boys in our hearts.
I suggest you become more immature. You know, you take this fucking life too damn seriously, people.
It's true.
We are so fucking immature and joke about the dumbest shit that is hilarious, like penis and vagina jokes. We laugh at them because they're fucking hilarious. Keep going.
It's true. So to me, it's like, I love that. I love that, like, I know that you're going to giggle at it because it's immature, and keeping in that lighthearted, especially with the kind of life we run. Like, we're going, we adult a lot.
We do
a lot more than.
I don't know what that really means.
I don't know, but it's like
like
doing big stuff. That's like adulting. Being a parent.
Yeah.
That's it. Sometimes our kids are more mature than us, but that's another episode.
The funny part is when I write something really like inappropriate, and then like there's a knock on the door and the kid comes in and is in the bathroom talking to us, and I'm like, oh shit, don't look at the mirror. There's been a couple times where like my daughter will look at it and like look at me and kind of roll her eyes and then walk out because I wrote like something very, very, very inappropriate.
She's
and
18.
Forget to like wipe it off or whatever. But it's
well,
cool because
our housekeeper probably thinks we are just.
That's what I love about her is I've told her, like, I have my workouts on my mirror in the bathroom. On the right side of my mirror, I have my workouts. So Monday through Friday, what I'm doing, I write well, it's not serious. I just write down what I'm working out. Like when I wake up, I literally look at it. I go to the gym. I know exactly what my workout is. It's just something that I've always done. And we've told her, like, leave that, don't erase that, but you erase everything else. So it's almost like I don't erase it, you erase it. She just comes in, clears the slate, and then it's like, oh, there's this fucking huge mirror with nothing on it. I need to write something on this thing. You know what I mean? So, moral of the story, ladies and gentlemen, is go get yourself a pack of dry erase markers. This is like, I feel like this is very much one of our strengths. It's so simple, it's so direct, it's so easy, and I'll never get tired of it. The only thing that actually frustrates me is when I can't find the fucking dry erase markers. Right. Or when you move them and you write something, but then you don't put it back and you put it in a drawer someplace else, and then I got to go down to the office and get a fucking dry erase marker. We'll have a conversation around this stuff. You know what I mean?
Get your shit together.
We'll put like one of those strings where they like hang from the wall, and I'll just use that. But really, like this is one of the things that I really appreciate about you and that you and I do is, number one, we're very mature. We love like the funny little notes and really like being, I think, as juvenile as we are. Yeah. But really as I don't want to say basic because neither of us is basic.
We're not basic at all.
But we are, in a way. Like we appreciate the simple shit. Sure. Right? I appreciate it and you appreciate it. Like no matter what we're doing, no matter where we are, we both appreciate the simple things. We don't take things
for granted. We appreciate all things.
And I think knowing that that's something that's not only powerful but really basic and really simple for us is huge, right? So the dry erase board markers, okay?
Just do it. Like set yourself a goal to do it. Like just start with like once a week. And then when it, and then just try to do twice a week. And it's so fun. It's
really
so fun.
Is.
I want to go into number 2. Another one that we're really good at is.
Let's go.
Sean is exceptional at this, is writing sticky notes or just pad of paper notes throughout the house. Yep. Like you'll make a cup of coffee and you'll put a sticky note on it and it'll just be like, XOXO, smiley face. So simple.
It's so simple. I talked about this in my book. Like one of the things that somebody had shared with me years ago is the sticky notes, the Post-it notes. You go buy a pack of Post-it notes from Staples, from the grocery store, whatever. You go into the friggin' school supply aisle and you literally just get a pack of sticky notes. And there's 100 of them or 200 of them or 300 of them, right? And they're just the little Post-it notes. Fellas, you sit down for 10 minutes and you can fill out, write notes, write inappropriate shit, draw more penises, draw boobies, draw smiley faces, draw XOXO, right? I'm going to fucking bend you over and fuck the shit out of you, which you can do.
There's some of those in
Don't share those ones. Really? You brought those ones? Like, write this stuff. Like, it takes you 10 minutes to fill out an entire pack of sticky notes. But here's what's dope, okay? I joke about it. It's the gift that keeps on giving. So I'll just go throughout the house. I'll put them in the shoes. I'll put them in the underwear drawer. I'll put them under the pillow. I'll put them in the fucking fridge. I'll put them in your purse. Put them in your little, what are they called? The makeup things. Compacts, your little compact shit. All of that stuff, right? You could put 100 sticky notes all over the place. And fellas, would you like to continue to like, oh, you're so sweet, yeah? Well, she might fucking find a note in 5 months. Like in the underwear drawer or in a pair of shoes because she has so many fucking shoes that she hasn't worn for a long time.
This is a fact.
And it's the gift that keeps on giving, and it costs a couple bucks, right?
Yeah.
But I love the notes because it's quick. It's just like writing on the mirror. It's the same type of thing. It's I'm thinking about you. I'm connecting to you. And a lot of days it's just a smiley face, or it's an XOXO, or have a rad day, or whatever it is. Really, really, really simple. And you have a pad of paper, you have a sticky note, you have whatever laying around. You just write something.
Well, and this is like, obviously this works if you are in a more serious relationship or you're married to someone because you're in their house all the time. But if you're early on dating, I want you to tell the story about the pink. We have a little tiny pink love note that funny. Sean gave me when we were just dating.
So this is
together. So tell that story.
If you're watching this, you see it. If you're listening to this, I'm holding up a pink envelope, and the pink envelope is for Capitol Parking Violations Department. You can see right here. We can.
I should have known it was yours right when I saw that.
It's a fucking. It's an infringement, right? It's a speeding ticket or a traffic ticket. Long story short, I was driving home one day. This was late at night. I forget where I was at. I was doing something.
I think you were at that.
Was it the track?
No, the riot. Not the riots, but the protest.
Oh, the protest? I don't remember.
Yeah.
I was doing something, and it was late at night, and I was driving home, and I swung by her house, and I didn't have my briefcase or my backpack, and so I didn't have pad of paper. I had literally, I'm like scourging through my truck trying to find something. Well, I had a fucking parking ticket that was in my visor, so I pulled the parking ticket out, and I knew that you were sleeping. It was super late, and all the lights are off, and I just wrote, "Hi, have an awesome morning. You are beautiful. XOXO." And the funny part about this is
really funny.
I pull out in front of her house, and she lived in this like uber liberal neighborhood.
Yeah.
But there was this one cat on the block who was a retired Marine, old guy. Now this is 1 a.m, 1:30 in the morning. It's pitch fucking black. I'm parked out front of your house. My truck's running. I'm looking for this thing. I write this note, and then this rap on the window. It scared the shit out of me because I have tinted windows. You can't see in my truck, kind of a deal. And I literally reached down. I grabbed my gun, and I'm like, I cracked the window just a teeny bit, and instantly is this reeked of booze. And I kind of look out, and I see the dude, and he's got no shirt on, and he's just got these shorts on, and I'm like, this has got to be either a bum or a neighbor. And so I roll down the window. I'm like, what's up, man? He's all, what are you doing here? I was like, what do you mean, what am I doing here? And he's like, why you parked down in front of this house? I was like, this is my girlfriend's house. I'm leaving her a note. And he's like, and he got a little frisky with me, but then he could tell, okay, this cat's cool. I'm like, look, bro, I'm leaving my girlfriend a note. You got nothing to worry about. He's like, well, I'm part of the neighborhood watch. And anyways, it was really, really, really funny because like this guy scared the shit out of me. So anyways, I leave the note. I run up. I put it on the back door. But the real good part, as Saxony mentioned, is this is when we were first dating.
Yeah, I was like, I wasn't your girlfriend yet.
Yeah,
because
true story. You weren't. We were just dating. We were just hanging out because I left this and I didn't hear from her. I didn't hear anything. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. Like normally she'd go, oh, thanks for the note. And it was later in the day or the next day or whatever. I was like, hey, did you by chance get anything like on your back door? Like you said, no, what do you mean? Oh, a note? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, was that from you? And I'm like, you must get a lot of these fucking notes of parking tickets on your back fucking
Mr. Whalen,
door.
You didn't sign it.
I didn't sign it. I put XOXO. You should know, but you didn't.
I was dating a couple people.
Yeah, you were.
I didn't know who wanted to wish me.
How many of them left
awesome
notes?
Morning. None of them.
Exactly. I win.
What's crazy?
I fucking win.
Oh, what's crazy is I have cameras at my house, and I went back and reviewed them. And somehow my cameras missed Sean.
No, that's how good I am.
Are you just like ninja? Did
that's
you roll
how fucking good I am.
across the ground?
No. I spot this shit from a mile away. Why do you think I train, girl? Your cameras didn't even pick me
I
up.
know, and that was what was a trip. As
Either I'm really good at what I do or your cameras suck. Anyways, moral of the story is and she's really sentimental and keeps this kind of shit. But
I even
this
keep
is literally
the ones I give him because I know they might.
I just
not
throw
be
them away.
kept.
I love them. I just don't keep them. This is a parking ticket. I mean, it's literally a parking ticket, and I wanted to leave her a note, and it was something little, and it was sweet, and it's like thoughtful, and so this idea that we have to have a Hallmark card or whatever, you don't have to. You can write a fucking little teeny note on a parking ticket and leave it on the door, and it works.
Yep. This is another one when we were dating. Just that one especially. You'll have you read
Well, you
that
gave
one
me
especially, but that one really meant so much to me because I know what that meant to you. Sean left
So this
me
is another. Where did I leave this one? Was this at your house?
I don't remember where you left it. He wrote, Sax, thank you for showing up. Thank you for showing me something new. You are a beautiful soul. Smiley face.
Yeah. Oh, and I think I was probably dating a bunch of people at the time,
You
too.
probably were. I mean, I know you were, but it's okay. But I loved, or maybe this was right when we got together.
I don't know.
Through the incident. That's might have been what this is. But what I loved is like, I know what he meant there. You have 2 sentences there, and this forever. I was like, that's dope. Yeah. I love that so much. So high impact, low effort, awesomeness. Can I share this one?
Sure.
This one is so good.
If you're watching this, you obviously see this. But like,
I'm gonna hold
when we were talking about this, we're like, what we would talk about on the show. We talk about our kind of all these questions we keep getting from people about how to stay alive, how to keep the fire burning, how to go. I'm like, I feel like this is something that we're both really good at.
Yeah.
And she goes upstairs and pulls out. If you're listening to this right now, you don't see this. There's a pile of notes that
legal sized.
That one's funny.
So I went to an event, and you were just hanging at the house with the dogs, and I went out, and I came home late. Mm-hmm. And it's so cute. So
were we married then? Were we married this? By now? No.
It was right before we got married.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you've done this many, many times. I don't know. I must have not kept them all, but I kept a few.
Yeah.
So this one's great. So I came home. It's dark. I turned the lights on we have a big foyer, and right in the middle of the floor it says, "Welcome home, you sexy queen." And it's just literally just laying on the floor.
I just threw it on the ground.
And I giggle. And we have a lot of stairs to get to our bedroom. And then I'm going to walk up the stairs, and it says, "Warning, upstairs is a man who wants to get you naked." Warning.
This is like, let me inject something. This is the juvenile, okay? Fellas, like, you know what I'm talking about, man. Inside of you is a little kid. Inside of you is a little fucking horny 12-year-old morning wood kid. Real talk. Like, this is real. Inside of every single dude is this playful, and then all of a sudden we get money, and we have houses, and we got fucking Rolexes and bling, and we got to be this badass. And I'm not knocking any of this shit. What I'm talking about, fellas, is like what connects. You're looking at my beautiful wife talk about the shit that makes her happy and laugh and whatever. And the truth is, like, this is the most juvenile. This was me sitting down late one night, just having fucking fun, being a little kid, connecting as like a little kid. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Anyways, keep going.
And so then it goes up, and the stairs turn, and there's this little landing, and it says, "If you keep going, you'll wake him up, and he will..." Is the suspense killing you guys? You know what he's going to say? And meanwhile, I am laughing so hard. I am, like, laughing so hard, and I knew you could hear me, and I'm just cracking up. "Snuggle the hell out of you and put his beard in between your legs." Did y'all see that coming? Yeah.
Of course they did. They know me.
So here's where I'm like, I lost my shit. I lost my shit on the last one. He taped it to the door of our bedroom. The door is closed, and it says, "Last chance! Exclamation point! If you enter, be prepared to be ravaged." In that face. I have officially been warned. I literally, and I'm picking these up and I'm carrying them, and I open the door, and I just like smothered you. Mm-hmm. Just this thought of, so it's kind of like multifaceted. I go out with my girlfriends. I didn't go to the club. I went to like a
retreat thing, meditation retreat thing.
And it's the fact that you supported me in doing my own thing. You're really good, and I think we are as a couple, we're really good at supporting each other's independence. And especially when it comes to things based around like purpose or spiritual growth or whatever, we're really, really good at that. And so these coming home to this note, it reiterated that you were like, you were happy I went, you were happy to have me home. And this is like you were, hey, let's reconnect. I'm going to flirt with you because we should have sex now. And it's like that, this goes so far with me.
Yeah.
And I think it's
I'm pretty sure we did have sex.
I'm pretty sure we did have sex.
Yeah.
These are so great, though. This one is so funny. I have to share this.
How
This
many
one
of
is
these did
just
you bring, babe?
not that many, but this one's so good. I have to share.
Not that many. I have like 25 or 30 of them there.
Well, we do this
Okay,
a
keep
lot.
going, keep going.
This
I know.
one's so funny because. Oh, look. What is that?
I don't know. I just grab
it's
pieces of
important.
paper. I'll
So-
write them on bills.
Yeah.
I'll write them on like, literally we have a stack of mail and there's bills and I'll just grab a bill and write it on the front of a bill and leave it there. And
This one says, "Dear Sax, I'm upstairs naked in the tub. You should come up and do me." But he wasn't even in the tub. You were in the kitchen. You're like, oh, you came home too soon.
oh, that was when you came home too soon. That's funny.
I was saying, and I was like, he's like, hold on.
The tub was on, but I had to go to the kitchen to get something, and she showed up, and I wasn't in the tub.
But your eyes, you're like wide-eyed, like, oh, hold on.
Yeah, let me run upstairs so you can get your note. How does it make you feel?
Well,
when you
obviously,
get
even
stuff?
just telling the story,
Right.
I light up
Yeah.
and giggle, and it's just, I love it. Like, it's so simple,
Yeah.
and I love simple love.
One of the things that I've found about myself is like, I know what works, and I think the dudes listening to this, guys listening to this, understand. Like, if you know your partner's love language, you know it, right? And if you haven't taken the love languages test, like literally go
Please,
fucking
God,
take it.
take it today.
5 love languages. Just Google it. There's a fucking free test. It's right there. It's literally click on the link. It will run you through the test. It will tell you in 5 minutes what your love languages are. It will tell you your partner's love languages, right?
And pay close attention to the top two, because
Well, that's really what you're
the
supposed
real top
to.
two are. And you know what's interesting is neither of us are affirmations. Oh wait, yours is affirmations. Mine are not affirmations,
gifts
but this
and-
still, this is just this
Right.
still just fills my cup.
But here's the thing though that does touch on this, because yours is quality time, right? And knowing that I spent a minute, wrote a note, like it connects to that quality time versus like the quantity or the gift or the this or the that. And that's something that I have found to be extremely beneficial, is like taking a minute to do this and to just connect, and knowing that, again, I feel better. It connects you and I, and it's so fucking simple. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it almost becomes, now it's, I believe you do something with repetition, it becomes a habit. And to me, it's a habit. It's like whenever I see a marker laying around, I just grab it and I write on something.
Yep.
Or I'll grab the whiteboard marker and I'll write on the mirror. It's like if it's just sitting there in front of me, I just grab it, I do it. It's kind of like the same habitual reality of like getting flowers. When you're driving by the store, like this is the reason at the entry of the stores is they have the huge fucking things of flowers.
They know
So you
what's
grab them when you're coming in, or when you're standing in the checkout line, you look over and you're like, oh shit. And you literally go buy an $8 bouquet of flowers. Now, granted, I haven't been in the store
They're a little bit more than that.
a year.
Now, babe.
Well, inflation, whatever. But you go grab a little teeny thing of flowers. And it's like doing these simple things habitually, it becomes a habit. It becomes something that you just consistently do. And when you're consistently doing something that makes you feel better, makes your partner have a smile or maybe shift him a little bit out of something, and connects you to like, why the fuck would you not do that?
Yeah.
Why would you not continue to do that? Because you're pride, because you're angry, because you're mad. You ain't getting, fellas,
That's
you ain't
more
getting
reason-
laid
that's more reason
when
to
you're
do it
mad.
then.
You're not getting laid when your partner's mad.
Right.
You're not making more money when you're mad. Your brain ain't clear. You're not in good shape when you're mad. Like when you're living in fucking anger and mad and resentment, your life sucks.
Yeah.
It fucking sucks. Period. End of story.
Yeah. So another thing is we carry these things around. They're called phones.
Cell phones.
Yeah, I'm not sure if maybe a few of you have them. Powerful way to connect with your partner, believe it or not. 2 things that you and I do a lot that we involve our phones with that help a lot. I will say, so Sean will do this thing where he'll be like, let me see your phone. You'll grab my phone and you'll sit there And I have no idea what he's doing. He's just like, and then what happens is like 3 days passes and I will get a calendar alert that says, "You're so sexy. I'm so glad you're my wife." Or it will say, you know, "I want to play with your butt later." Or it'll,
Or
whatever.
come give me a blowjob.
Or
Give Sean a blowjob.
give Sean a blowjob, which all make me laugh. And they're usually something funny and perverted. And it's such a cute way of like flirting with me because
It's the gift that keeps on giving. Fellas, we're lazy sometimes. We don't think about these things, right? You don't think about these things. I didn't for literally 10 years of a marriage. I didn't understand this. I get this now. I didn't do it right. This is why I do it this way now, and I'm trying to help you motherfuckers grow your relationships. So listen the fuck up. Get your girl's phone. Just take it in the bathroom and while you're sitting on the shitter and just literally go into her calendar and write funny stuff, inappropriate stuff. Just leave a heart. Imagine this for 2 seconds.
Even just a heart one.
Imagine just doing it once a month and doing it like every couple of days. Do it in the middle of the night. Set an alarm. Your phone, like, we make things so fucking complicated. Well, people, like, listen. This is called a smartphone for a reason. I can set an alarm. I can have reminders, right? I set an alarm for 10 different funny things for the next 30 fucking days. And all of a sudden, I'll get a text from her. She's like, "Oh, you're so cute." And I'm like, "What did I do? Shit, what did I do?" And you're like, "My note was so amazing." And I'm like, I know it was. And I'm like, I have no fucking clue what she's talking about.
I don't
but
remember
it's
which
because
one.
I sat down for 5 fucking minutes, grabbed her phone, and wrote, "Come do me. I'm going to do you tonight. I'm going to ravish you. You're fucking amazing. Thanks for being a good wife. You're a great mom." Like, it takes you 5 fucking minutes to invest for 30, 60, 90 days and leave little teeny nuggets on a phone that you wouldn't otherwise think of, right? And then you don't even have to think about it. You just put them in there, boom, done. Put her phone right back. Wait till she's sleeping, whatever, right?
Right.
Just grab your fucking phone and do it. And it's like so simple, yet.
I love it. I love it so much.
Why? What's the best one you've ever received? I'm putting you on the spot.
I just love the heart ones because we have a thing with our hearts where we know what they mean. They mean a whole bunch of things, and we just send a heart, and that like speaks volumes. It's like, "I love you. I'm with you. We're in this." Like, it's just that one little thing.
Talk about that, because I love that, and you'll text me a couple times a week, just in the middle of the day, and it'll just be a heart.
Yeah,
that's it. And like it fills, it connects. I don't even say it fills my cup, but it's like, I know what you're saying without you even saying it. And I don't need to say anything back. It's not something where you're like, you're going to write me this long fucking novel. But to know in the middle of the day, I'm doing a deal, I'm running around, I'm here, I'm there, and whatever, and then ding, and it's just a heart. It's like, that's my girl. She's good, I'm good, we're connected. She's thinking about me, she's connecting with me. And then I do the same thing. And it's like,
all the time. You
don't have to make this complicated, man. Like, when you're playing games, when you're in a negative place, like when you're keeping score, which for the love of fucking God, don't do that shit, man. This ain't a game of keeping score. Well,
you're on the same team.
I texted you 11 times yesterday or 27 times last month. I kept track. You're a fucking idiot, dude. You're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Like, do this because it makes you feel good, number one. But number two, it connects you, man. Like, I hear from guys all the time, like, and this is a lot of people with their sex life who've been married for 5 years, 10 years, and our sex is this and da. It's because you quit courting, you quit dating, you quit doing the fun, flirty, stupid, immature shit that you did when you were dating, right? All of a sudden you go from being a simpleton having peanut butter and jelly sandwiches next to the river to going out buying $1,000 bottles of wine, and all of a sudden you're disconnected. Like, I've literally had clients who make millions and millions and millions of dollars that find themselves completely disconnected after years of marriage, and he's building the business and she's handling the whatever. And I have a client who literally makes over $50 million a year. And they're struggling. And they come to me and they're like, "What do we do?" And I'm like, I told him, I said, "Dude, I want you to literally pack a fucking picnic basket. And I want you to get a peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, some fucking shitty beer, and just go sit down by a river, get a blanket, and just go to the river." And dude, I swear to God, the next day he sent me a message and he's like, "It was one of the best dates that we've ever been on." And they've been married for like 15 years. This is a dude making $50 million. She's got everything you want. They got a jet. They got the whole fucking thing. And it's like, we forget what got us here. We forget what connected us initially. We forget the fun, jovial sex that we used to have, because then all of a sudden we get into this pattern and it's the same thing. And when you find yourself in a place of pattern, of expectation, it does get boring. Shit gets boring, right? Like, we did a bunch of wild, crazy shit because we were getting to know each other, but because we were free and we didn't care and whatever. And 10 years later, you haven't written your fucking wife a note or said something about her freaking vagina or her feet or her titties or something. I mean, shit, fellas, you pay for these fucking titties and you're not even playing with them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, let's call it what it really is. Like,
Yeah.
we go do all this other shit and we're just find this complacency in something as simple as a cell phone text message or a note or whatever. It's like, it fills you, it connects you, it brings something to the table that we're all looking for. And it's that just momentary connection.
I love the heart because it's non-intrusive as well. Like, if you're working, you don't have to take 5 minutes to read a paragraph of my love confession. And also, like, it's very genuine. Less is more sometimes. Like, just sending a heart, it means, like, I see you, I've got you. Like, you've got this. Like, I've got your back. It speaks all these things, and it's so quick. And it's just like, oh, cool.
Our lives are very, very, very busy.
Yeah.
We're busy. We're all busy.
However, there's an exception to this, and I'm always good to interrupt your day with, this is another, this is number 2. I guess the heart is, no, number 2 of under cell phones, but I think it's actually number 3.
Got it.
Is I'm a big, big, big advocate for sexting.
Tell
maybe
us.
some of you
Preach,
like
girl.
It's too vulnerable. I think you should get over that because it's so fun. I love, like, I'll get out of the shower and I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna do a little pose, and I'll send a naked picture, whatever it may be that day. Maybe my abs are looking fly, and I'm like, oh, check it, or my legs. A lot of times it's a booty shot.
Because you have an amazing fucking ass. An amazing ass.
And I know what you like. I know what you like with my body, and I like to flirt back with that to you. And it's fun. Like, sometimes I'll make a booty collage.
Oh my God. There's no man on the planet.
This is the black and white version of my ass. Here's the high vivid.
This is the beauty of apps. This is the beauty of technology. Is Saxony has these fucking photo editor apps, and she just plays with them. And like, I'll get
which only takes me like under 5 minutes to do too.
Yeah, I get the ass shot, but it's in this collage, and now there's like 4 asses, and they're different colors.
And you can flip them. So sometimes
like,
the booties are facing each other.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm like, babe, this is fucking great. I would show everybody one, but it's
you can't do that.
This show will turn into a porn show. But here's why I love that is it's the same for me. Like, we have a great sex life. Okay, we have sex all the time, every day. We've got a great sex life, and so it's not like the we're trying to reconnect there because we're good there.
Yeah.
To me, it's like that. Whoa, like that. Pattern interrupt. You're out of the shower, whatever. You're feeling fucking fly. I'm getting it. I'm like, God damn, like, I'll text you back, whatever, and say some naughty shit. But no matter what I'm doing, no matter where I'm at, it just breaks the monotony of the day, right? Or it interrupts you and it just connects you. Again, it's just like, it's the thought that's there. You've sent me pictures of toys. And you're like, let's try this tonight. And I'm like, God damn, I can't finish the day. Like, let's go do it now. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'll do the same thing. Like, I'll send a picture and put a note and say, I'm going to do this to you. I'm going to do that to you. We're going to do this. Like, be prepared for this. Be prepared for that. And it's cool because, number one, again, it connects us. But number 2, it's like the thought process. Like, you're thinking about me. You love being sexy. I love you being sexy. I love that we're sexy together, and it connects, right? And I think something that so many people are afraid of, like, is that number 1, vulnerability. But, number 2, like, being free, being that free. To be able to strut your stuff. And this is why we talk about Core 4. This is why we talk about being in shape. This is why it's important. Real talk. This is why it's important to get your health under control, to get your fitness under control. I'm not talking about every single person has to have a six-pack. Everybody has to have this. That's not what I'm saying. But you want to feel fucking sexy.
Yep.
And if you don't feel sexy, ladies, you had kids, I get it. You've got 2 babies come out of your fucking body, right? Like, ladies, you might not feel sexy. And when you don't feel sexy and you're playing that down, that's hard for a man to watch. It's hard for a man to be a part of. It's hard for a man to connect when you don't feel sexy. It is very, very, very important for you to do whatever you need to do emotionally, psychologically, and physically to get yourself to a place where you're like, I'm the fucking queen. Like, I want to show my man while he's out doing deals, while he's out hunting the buffalo, this is what he's got. This is his. This is his ass. These are his boobies. Like, this is me. Like, and it's not subjective or what's the word I'm looking for? Objectifying or whatever.
No.
You're my fucking queen. We're having sex. Like, we're married. Like, this is my game.
Yeah.
And vice versa, fellas. Like, you want to be able to, like, be a fucking king, man, and show up and be powerful and take your shirt off and have your girl, like, want to fuck your brains out instead of being a fat fucking slob. Real talk. And this is going to offend some people. I don't really give a shit. This is truth. This is real fucking truth. And whatever that means to you, whatever that looks like to you, you do that. You go on that journey. But I'm here to declare as a man who gets great pictures of your amazing fucking ass that I love it. And I'm fairly confident that you would say the same thing, getting pictures from me, that it does something to you. And it continues to connect. It continues to connect, which you want to freaking build a real dope relationship. It's pretty much all rooted in how connected are we.
And we all love flirting. Like, everyone loves flirting. They love to be flirted with. And most of us love flirting. Some of us are awkward at it. I get that. But, you know, it's like, why wouldn't you want to keep that in your marriage?
Right.
Because, this might sound kind of shitty, but like, someone will flirt with your partner.
Say it. It's true.
If you're not I'm trying to say this without it sounding like coming from scarcity,
look,
but you look at couples that are struggling.
Okay.
They're not flirting with each other. Right. And a lot of this, like, oh, well, the grass is green over here because, you know, the girl at the coffee shop flirts with me, and God, that sure makes me feel good. And it could even be innocent, but it's like, and I'm not saying do it because of that. Hello, Gunner. But keep that in mind that, like, that's important to us as humans. Like, we're very sexual creatures. We like to feel desired. We like to feel pursued. Men like to do the hunt. It's like, keep this activity in your lives to just nourish it, because that'll still happen outside of, I mean, there's a lot of people in the world, and especially when you're good looking and you're fun,
what
and
it
like
is.
You know, people will flirt with you, and it's just the importance of keeping that in your most intimate relationship, because we love it. So just do it, continue to do it. And that's, I hope, you know, the show makes an impact on you if you're not.
I think that's a very, very, very important point. I mean, you look at most affairs, they don't start sexually first. They start emotionally.
Yep.
I'm getting something over here that I'm not getting at home. Is that blaming it on somebody? No. Is that placing a blame? Is that saying it's her fault for not sending titty pics? Nope. Is it his fault? No. Hear me, though. Like, what you're saying, what you're hearing Saxony say is dead on accurate. Like, I consider myself a pretty good-looking fella.
You're pretty good.
You're very, very, very attractive. And when we go to the gym, I watch dudes look at you. I stand back, I'm over here doing my thing, and I'm watching dudes, like, wanting to work out next to you, wanting to get over there. And I smile my ass off because I'm like, goddamn right, she's sexy as fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Good luck with them.
She's sexy as fuck. She's fucking nutty and wild and crazy, but she's sexy.
In all the best ways.
And it's true, right? Let's call it what it really fucking is. I want to be a good-looking man. I want you to be attracted to me.
Yeah.
I like being good-looking. I like being in shape because it makes me feel good. I like waking up in the morning, taking my shirt off or having my shirt off or walking around naked, knowing that I fucking built this, that I do look good.
What happens every time you do that?
Because I get laid and we have sex like literally every fucking morning, which is great. And I love it. But this is extremely important. It transcends just the sexting, right? This is about that confidence level. This is about getting you into a place of being really fucking powerful, man. Really powerful. And you hear all the time, oh, you get married, you let yourself go. No, that just means you're a lazy fuck. That means you're a lazy fuck. That means that you've given up on yourself, you've given up on your vision, you've given up on your dreams, you've given up on your goals. So hear me for a second. fellas, if you're an ambitious son of a bitch and you're ripped out of the gates, right? And your girl gets with you and all of a sudden you decide to put on 75 pounds because you work 20-hour days, that ain't who she fucking married. Real talk. Oh, I'm going to love you for whatever. No. Newsflash. No. Like, I did not sign up and marry a fucking quitter. I did not sign up you did not sign up to have some dude walk around with his fucking gut hanging over his belt, who's a lazy sack of shit, who sweats before he even gets out of bed, who just eats fucking shit all day long. That is not what you signed up for. So understand that getting you right, getting you sexy, whatever that feels like to you, whatever that looks like, you know what that is. It is imperative for you to make that a very, very, very critical part of your relationship, not only for yourself, but for your relationship. As a father, dude, I want my boys to know that like, it is very, very, very important to keep yourself physically active, physically in shape, not just for protection, not just to be able to whatever, but to be able to have that mentality of being a fucking killer, of going out there and being somebody who's in charge of his own fucking life. And then look what happens, you know? I married a very, very powerful woman. My boys see that. My boys are connected to you far more than any other human being that I've ever been with besides their mother.
Yeah.
For a reason, because they see, like, you show the fuck up. You are powerful. We all go to the gym together. They see you working out. They see you looking fucking fly in a bikini in Hawaii. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? And it's very, very, very easy to see, like, why this is powerful, why this works. But it's also very easy to see why so many people, quote unquote, wander or stray or get bored or get frustrated.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to talk about, so last night was date night. And this
I kind of went off on that, sorry.
I know, but like this, I'm glad you did, because this reminded me of what we talked about last night at date night. And we want to talk about gestures of date night because it's one of our bullet points. But we went out to dinner last night, and I don't remember how it got brought up, but I told you, I was like, there's no possession of, like, you're not my possession. It's not like we got married and now you're mine and I just own this. It's like every day we are side by side in union, but part of staying side by side is keeping up with where we're both going. Now, I expressed that if there came a day, which there won't because I'm way too who I am, but say there was a day where I fell behind and I just started like not taking care of myself in core 4, like say I didn't take care of my body and I didn't go to the gym and I did put on a lot of weight but to me that's like indicative of a much bigger problem.
Right.
It's not just physical, and that's why when we talk about the physical, the bigger picture is there's self-neglect of some sort, and it's showing up in a physical form. If you're not going to the gym, your head's not on right, you're not taking care of yourself, so there's disease and all these things that come with that. So part of being your wife is a commitment I've made to myself, and I've always been this way, is that I will continue to show up as my best self. And maybe my best self is not that great on certain days, but overall, I'm showing up as my best self. And that's where we will stay in alignment as we go. I don't think for a moment that it's time for me to settle, or I stop pursuing my dreams, or I stop being a good mother, or I stop attending to things. Like, you don't win a prize when you get in a relationship. That should be almost more motivation to now we have this together and now we're both moving. Right. And that mindset of, as you see this happen a lot, it's like people, they get so consumed by the negative, and they get the mundane, and the relationship gets heavy. They stop challenging their growth. And so, yeah, I love that we talked about that last night. Like, I fully expect for you to not be okay with me not showing up. Because you married a queen who took basically an oath to show the fuck up.
Right.
And same with you. Like,
right.
I'll leave you behind, as I'm not going to stop where I'm going. I think it's a really important mindset for moving into this positivity at all times, for yourself, for your family, for your spouse, for your relationship, everything.
I talked about this briefly yesterday on a post, and then I want to move on to the next bullet point, but the difference between sympathy and empathy. And something that is very, very important to me is to continue to keep going and to continue to keep moving. And the difference between sympathy and empathy is like, you're in a shitty space, so I'm going to leave my good space and go down to where you are. And you see this happen a lot. And I was very much in this space for a lot of my life where, you hang around with shitty people, you hang around with dramatic people, you hang out with victims, and I have to leave my place of peace and go down into your shithole to try and help you, guide you, get you out of your shithole.
Right.
Now, it is an absolute terrible plan, a terrible fucking way to have a relationship. Now, empathy is radically different. Empathy means I'm good. I'm going to stay where I am. I'm going to extend my hand to you, and I will try to help pull you out of your place into a different place. I don't move. I don't leave. I don't go from happy to depressed, happy to victim mode with you. Like, I'm good right here.
Yeah.
So, if you want to come over here, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah.
I will entertain you. I will help you. I will be with you. But I'm not leaving my place here.
For sure.
And that is something I think, since we're off on this conversation right now, I really, really, really love about our relationship is that we both say this over and over and over again, and this isn't lip service, this isn't bullshit, but I want y'all to hear this. Like, I don't need you. I don't need you to be happy. I don't need you to be fulfilled. I don't need you for me to continue to move forward in life. I want you. I want you to be with me. I want you to be by my side. I want you to continue to choose this and us every single day. But this is something that's new for me, and it's come through radical transparency, radical honesty, but also radical work in getting yourself right. And you say the same thing to me. I don't need you to be happy. And a lot of our lives individually was not that way. We relied on other people to be happy. We relied on a title or a relationship or oh, look, I changed my Facebook status. Now everything's going to be great in the fucking world. No, motherfucker, if you're a piece of shit, you're a piece of shit, whether you say you're in a relationship or not.
Yeah.
But the truth is, like, you and I not needing each other, being our own source of power, our own source of identity, our own source of uniqueness is really what makes you and I, in my opinion, because I've had the exact opposite powerful. And understanding this, friends, like, getting you right is the number one goal.
Yeah.
Getting you whole, getting you good is the number one goal, right? You can't blame your family, your marriage, your wife for being a fat fuck. No, you're a fat fuck because you let yourself go. You quit playing the game. You quit hunting. So don't be surprised that she doesn't look at you the same way that she looked at you when you were fucking 20 years old and you guys were ripped. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised at all. You quit investing. You quit doing the deal. You quit building you. Don't be surprised.
And I encourage people to find out Core 4, which we've referred to a little bit when we referred to it on other episodes, but Core 4 is the foundation of how we live our lives. It's the foundation of Sean's coaching group in the Den. It is, I have yet to find something else that's...
It's life.
It's everything. It's like if you nurture and grow each area of Core 4...
Power, passion, purpose, and production.
Yeah. You will have a massive life of abundance. Period. Like, prove me wrong.
Right.
Prove me wrong. It's incredible. And this is, we're connecting all 4 right now, but these are just, it's incredible what it'll do when you focus. So many people will focus on one area and then they try to validate everything off of their strength because they're not working on their weakness. Because there's Core 4, there's always one you're weakest at.
Right.
And that's the one you should be working at. So date nights, babe.
Date nights are crucial. We have date night every week. It's a non-negotiable.
It's my favorite thing that we do.
And I love it too. It is non-negotiable. Hear me. This is not if I have time. This is not let's try and make it work. If you have a meeting with the President of the United States of America, the same way that you would be like ruthlessly committed to showing up the best, looking the best, being prepared, is the exact same way that you treat date night.
For sure.
Fellas, when you say, baby, I'll be there at 5, be there at 4:58. When you like, what do you want? A lot of times we kind of fly by the seat of our pants, but at the same time, there's typically a plan, a general plan. But fellas, showing up and committing to this is so radically important, and it is the way that we fell in love by dating. it is the way that you will continue to fall in love, and it's the way that you'll continue to build, is by dating. You're married, but we still date. We're dating. We're dating. What was it like when you went on dates and you wanted to spoil a girl and you brought her to a nice place, or you did something fun, or you went bowling, or you went and did this, or you went and did that. You went to the shooting range. You went four-wheeling, like you went out on the razors, the whole, whatever it is, right? Continue to date, continue to date, continue to date. And one of the things that I have found is, number one, it's very, very simple to do. And it's not the issue of time, because what you value, you invest in. And what you invest in, you value. And so I value our relationship. I value our dating. I value the sexiness, the flirtiness. I value that you get all dolled up. And then I go home and take a fucking shower and put on some cologne. And I'm just like I would when I'm on Bumble and I'm swiping. I'm like, yo, I got a new chick. I'm going to put on the good cologne. I go into the bottom drawer and I get the good shit. And I put on the clean underwear and the fresh socks, right? It's the same fucking game. Don't show up like a fat fucking turd schlepping your ass in from work. Go home and date, man. Be a fucking man. Show up and date your woman. Be passionate about it. Be committed to it. Watch what happens.
And even the small gestures. So we'll go on a date and we both get dolled up. We do. We put in full effort. And you think about it, there's 7 days a week. There's 24 hours in a day. That's a lot of hours. And if you could just budget out 3 to take your partner on a date. And sometimes like we trade off who plans them. I don't have
every now and you can be like, yo, I got this one.
Like, okay. But it's even like the small gestures of like you usually flirt with me during that day, and you flirt with me every day, but it's like you're really like you get fully present for date night the beginning of the day. So you're in that mindset all day. And then when you show up, we get dolled up, we go out, and it's like you open my car door. When we're driving. All the time anyways. When we're driving.
Those are the basics.
Right, but people don't know this. Sure. I'm just expressing like this is date night, but this is like most of this we do every day. Like, he opens my door, we get in the car, he holds my hand, or he puts his hand on my leg because I love physical touch. You don't sit and talk about work with me. We are really disciplined. When it's date night, we're not on our phones.
Right. We'll take pictures of date night or do something funny or do a quick, like a funny Instagram story, but we're not on our phones.
We don't talk to our friends.
Texting, nothing.
We don't get on social media unless it's to like do the funny story, but we're really, really attentive. And that's what like makes this time together so powerful. And it's like, even like sometimes you'll bring me flowers and you'll leave a note before date night or you'll whatever. And then, we spend a lot of time snuggling and talking and like almost it's like a check-in too. We'll sit down for dinner and it's like we talk about us. We talk about what makes us happy. We talk about, the goodness. We're really, really disciplined and we don't talk about other people. We don't talk about things that really have nothing to do or things that only have to do with you and I. And we're really good at that connection. And it's very little effort. But we don't miss it, right? It's a non-negotiable.
Yeah. Date nights are huge, man.
Yeah.
And they're easy. You can, having fun on date night is like, it's so important. One of the things I think, like, one of my favorite date nights was when we went up to Sundance. Like, we'll just go to dinner. Fellas, like, listen, like, it sounds, I want you to speak to this too, because I love to talk and I love to share my things, but hearing it from you, I think people are like, okay, fine. Sean's full of shit, but if Saxony says it, then it's got to be real. It's got to be there. But like going out to dinner, and especially if you're married with kids, okay, you get the babysitter, you do the deal. Like people complain all the time, is our sex life or this, that. You go to fucking dinner and you go to a movie, you go do something like that, and then you swing by a little motel or a little hotel, and you go
not like a hooker hotel.
No, not like vibrating beds and renting it for the hour. But like you go find a Motel 6 or a this or that or whatever.
Yeah.
And again, I don't give a shit where you go, but it's the idea, like, in the thought that, like, you can go be 20 years old again. You can go fuck your brains out with no kids, no neighbors, no time, no clock, no nothing. You want. Be as wild and as crazy as you want. But it's little things like that, like when you're dating and you're horny and you're whatever, and it's living that reality every single day. It's living the innocence. It's living the immaturity. It's whispering wild, crazy, naughty shit into your ears at dinner. It's going and stopping by a motel for an hour and having sex and then leaving and coming home. And it's like, you think about that.
So true, though.
It's so simple,
Mm-hmm.
but yet it pays such massive dividends.
Yeah.
Now, here's something that I wanted to share, like, as we kind of wrap this up.
Mm-hmm.
There's two types of people listening to this right now. The people that are either dating, hearing it, okay, cool, young, yeah, we're still in all this stuff and whatever. Or I'm 15 years, 20 years deep into a relationship,
Mm-hmm.
and we dislike each other, we're disconnected, whatever. Maybe you're great, I don't know. But the most important thing that you can do is to start.
Mm-hmm.
You can start.
Mm-hmm.
Like these little teeny things, like there's nothing stopping you right now, no matter how bad things are, no matter how far down the rabbit hole you are, no matter how disconnected you are, no matter when the last time was that you had sex, went on date night, left a note, wrote in the fucking toilet or on the bathroom mirror. It doesn't matter. The truth is, the second that you start, like that's what holds most people back from having really, really, really connected relationships, is just fucking starting.
Yeah.
Starting the conversation, getting a marker and writing on the mirror and not stopping, saying, this is date night, it's non-negotiable, baby. I don't care what happens. And fellas, you step the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
You get the babysitter. You make sure that the kids are taken care of. You make sure that her schedule is cleared and there ain't shit going on. And you say, baby, you be ready at 5. I am showing the fuck up. Get your ass in the car. We're going, right? No excuses. Like, ravishing your fucking lover, getting on your phone literally right now as you're listening to this. If you're listening to this right now, like literally pause and send your lover a fucking text right now. Mm-hmm. Send them something sexy. Send them something immature. I don't care how bad your morning was. I don't care how tough the money situation is. I don't care how disconnected you are. If you never fucking start, you're never going to go.
Yep.
You're never going to fucking win the race. And I promise you, like, this might be awkward. It's really awkward as a man to do some of these things because you feel juvenile. You feel like she's going to judge you. You feel like she's going to be like, oh, what's wrong? Are you lying to me? Are you cheating on me? Now you're trying to be flirty and whatever. And that's dejecting to a man. Mm-hmm. It shuts a man down. Yep. And he wants to be like, well, you know what? Fuck you then, bitch. I'm not doing anything. Right. And that's truth. I know a lot of you listening to this, fellas. I know a lot of you listening to this right now know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. You try and be flirty. You try and do these things and your girl shuts you down. Don't be surprised, bro. Don't be fucking surprised because you've been an asshole for 10 years. Mm-hmm. You ain't taking her out in 10 fucking years. Don't be surprised when you show up that you catch some resistance. The question is, where are you going to be? Right. Like, are you going all in? Are you going to make this woman your queen? Are you going to show the fuck up and do the work right now that is uncomfortable because you've been a douche for the last 10 years? Mm-hmm. What do you want? You want to live the rest of your fucking life mediocre, half-assed, and maybe she ends up fucking the pool boy and leaving your ass because you ain't been home for fucking 20 years? Right. Or are you going to plant your flag in the ground and say, this is awkward. This is weird for me to do these things. But you know what? I'm fucking committed to leveling up. I'm committed to growth. I'm committed to moving my shit forward. And I'm committed to dating my woman. I'm committed to the little ass cheesy fucking notes and writing little penises on the mirror and stupid flirty dumb shit like that I haven't done forever, but somehow that's actually where I started this game. Mm-hmm. Like, which are you committed to?
Well, and I just, we coach a couple, and they've been married for a really long time. And they started doing this where they were, like, going on regular date nights. And she told me, she's like, we just stared at each other. Mm-hmm. Like, we've been doing this for so long. We're doing it. She's like, we're acting, but we just stared at each other. So she's came up with this game with her kids that's 27 questions. And I said, okay, here's your challenge. Here's your homework. Next date night, sit down, put your phone away, and play 27 questions with your husband. Ask him 27 questions about himself. I said, I guarantee there's so much you don't even know about your husband. Yep. And talk about, like, so maybe that's you guys. She just came up with 27. Make it 27.
You Google it. 100 questions to ask a stranger. 50 questions to ask a stranger. Literally go to Google and Google questions to ask people. Questions to ask my husband. Questions to ask my boyfriend, girlfriend, lover, brother, sister, whatever. Yeah. There are fucking thousands and thousands of lists of the questions to ask.
Okay. And another thing, like, I took us on a date. You were having I don't remember, you were having such a shitty time. I packed a sunset picnic and I brought up a little table and folding chairs. Yeah. It didn't cost me anything but food. Yeah. We went up there and it's like, getting out into nature and breaking up, like, sometimes going to movies is disconnecting. You're not talking, there's something in front of you that's living life as you're just sitting there like a zombie. I'm obviously not a huge movie fan.
I love movies.
I know a lot of people love movies,
whatever.
but if you know that you want connection, do things that
Connect.
Connection. And that's these conversations. That's being in nature where you're not necessarily distracted by, other people or whatever. And that was a really fun date. And it didn't cost much. What did we call it? The peanut butter and jelly challenge after that?
Yeah, but you bought a giant bottle of wine. Jesus, man.
I bought a bottle of Camus. And
no, it was Prisoner.
Was it Prisoner? Oh, it was
You had
Prisoner.
the big bottle. I was like, whoa.
the Magnum.
We're going to fucking stumble our way down off this mountain. It was a great date.
It was a rowdy night, I guess.
We had a rowdy night. We did have a rowdy night. Rowdy good night. But guys, listen, to wrap this up, the simple shit works. The little things, the little investments will pay the biggest dividends. And if your bank account is empty right now, if your relationship account is empty right now, put a fucking deposit in it.
And listen to this podcast with your partner so they kind of get this same information to plant seeds. Then you both can then have a framework around moving forward.
It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how long you've been married. It doesn't matter any of that stuff. Like there's no rule to this. There's no, you have to be here by this certain time. You have to be here by this certain time. We should be here because we've been married for so long. Bullshit. Like literally right here, right now, you could be 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years old. Make a deposit today. And then make a deposit tomorrow, and then make a deposit the next day, and continue to make these deposits, whether you want to or not, whether you feel good or don't, make these fucking deposits, and it will pay dividends.
And have a huge awareness to your withdrawals. Because when you start depositing, you'll see the value of these deposits. And then my hope for you is that when you want to be snappy or you want to be condescending or you want to be an asshole, like, is that worth the withdrawal? Mm-hmm. Is it truly worth it? Because it's a shared bank account.
Yeah. All right, guys. If you got value from this, please share it. Please go over to iTunes and Google Play and leave us a review and a comment and questions and anything else. But
we sure love.
We show up and do this for nothing, just because we want to, because it pushes us, it challenges us. But we love when you guys share this and put it out to your tribe and your people, and we can continue to grow and have these conversations.
Yeah.
All right.
And feel free to comment if you guys have a burning topic. Blending families is coming.
Oh, dude, we got so many. You guys have been giving us such good freaking stuff to talk about.
Another Q&A. Those are fun.
Lots of stuff coming. And then, of course, the sex toy review episode.
Oh, yeah. We didn't tell them. By the way.
We mentioned it yesterday. We didn't do it.
We're going to have a sex toy review.
Yeah.
We might even make our own line of sex toys.
We were like, what should we talk about? Like, we should do a sex toy review.
Which is going to be really interesting because we're very particular with what sex toys we like.
Yeah.
And by we, I mean I.
Yeah. All right, babe. Coming soon.
To be continued.
Sex toy review with Sean and Saxony. Guys, we love you. Thanks for tuning in. Talk to you next time.
Bye.